Previous day, they were all exciting. They were all with a lot of fights between a lot of drivers. We have different winners. We have different polemans during these 3 days. So the RKC track is ready to have more action with the Super Hits. Then, of course, it's crucial. There are just couple for the finals of this afternoon, so we can come wait to start here at the RKC. Almost ready after the junior kids, of course, will be the time for the junior category. It's junior kids time now, 15 minutes, and we are almost ready, starting with the formation lap. Starting with the formation lap, and let's see the starting grid with Olivier Chłopek leading them all, starting from the pole. Oscar Lambert in the first row alongside with him. Then it's Kotaro Azanuma and Ben Yangu in second row. Patrick Gaska and William Van Lerizum in third row. Alessio Zacchi and Jakov Madirazza in the fourth row. Then it's Nek Kozenina and Djukas Pravilonis. Vinko Jelacic, Kevin Sromek, Emily Forker, Thomas Simard, Emily Walls, Jakub Melas, Jade Wilson, Victor Nikolov, and Vladimir Bruno with Angeliki Nuzopoulou. That's the starting grid for the junior kid. And we are almost ready behind the P squad with Colin. We're calling the P squad for these days in the sector number 3. One of the overtake spot of this track. We learned the track during this day. If you were not with us during the heat of yesterday, that's the last chicane before the finish line. Seems everything is fine with the whole group. All one close to another. Let's see if the quad left the track. Yes, it does. Last hairpins, and let's see what happened at the very beginning of this race. The group splitting in two. Olivier Chłopek starting now with a great start indeed. Olivier Chłopek with Oscar Lambert, but there was not there. So another formation lap. Something was wrong with the formation lap, and I know that for sure the race direction will not allow anything like this. So another formation lap. Warming back does think, of course, they have to split in two and say at their spot maybe a little bit of early push by Chłopek, by Azanuma, but that part of the grid. Another formation lap. So for the junior kid category, we saw yesterday Olivier Chłopek is able to get a flash start and then stay on top till the very end. He won a couple of hits. Oscar Lambert starting from P2 on the first row of the grid alongside with the Polish driver is a hit winner too, so he already shown that he's capable on capitalize on every single occasion. Then two drivers that show that they are very fast. Kotaro Azanuma from Japan, Ben Yangu from the United Kingdom. They are both very fast. They are both able to put under pressure both Chłopek and Lambert. Let's see what happened. this time, and this time the rest director tell to the two at the very front to stay calm, to wait for the right to push and push. Let's see if this time is the one around the hairpin, and the group is splitting in two. Let's wait for the perfect moment. Let's watch out for the French flag, and we are ready to go. A great start from Oscar Lambert from the outside, trying to keep it in. Now it's Chłopek leading, but Lambert is trying to get back on it and trying to defend on Kotaro Azanuma, trying to get P2 at the very beginning of this race. What a start by the leaders line, and what a start by Olivier Chłopek. Seems like was not so reactive, but now is leading this race. It's 15 minutes for this super hit for the junior kids category. So it's Chłopek leading, I'd say, with Kotaro Azanuma in second place. And maybe it's Patrick Gacka in third, with a lot of fighting by Oscar Lambert. Of course, it did start well, but it was in the wrong side of the track at the very beginning of the race. He has to relinquish few position. So it's Chłopek. It's William van Leersum in P2. I'm sorry to the Netherlands driver, because I didn't expect it that. But he's in P2 with Kotaro Azanuma in P3. Ben Yangu in P4, Oscar Lambert is in P5, Gacka, Simard, Zaki, Pravilionis and Madriza for the top 10, but they are fighting for P3. They are fighting Azanuma, Yangu, Lambert and Gacka. Seems like they just getting started, of course, in this race, and that gave a little bit of space to Van Leersum and Chłopek up P1 and P. There's a lot of fight, even on the group behind. A lot of fight throughout all the turns of this circuit. There's a lot of overtake spot there. And now down the chicane for the end of lap number 2. There's two warning flags shown. One for next Kozenina, the other one is for number 4 driver Emil Forker. And it's Chłopek leading now with a 0.7 of a second advantage over Azanuma. Azanuma passed by in P2 with Lambert in P3. He got Patrick Gacka right behind him, but he's trying to get back on Azanuma, to get back on the second position, and seems like he's closing it in. Let's see if he can try there. Yes, he can. Try the overtake on Azanuma, pull the trigger, and it kind of works. Azanuma down in P3, and Lambert is back in P2. Third lap is gone, and now is Chłopek leading with an almost 0.9 advantage over Oscar Lambert, the United Kingdom driver with an overtake on Kotaro Azanuma. Let's see if he can reduce the gap. Seems like he got what it takes, but it needs a little bit of cooperation from Azanuma and from Gacka, not battling right now to get back on Olivier Chłopek, to get up to the piece. But it's up to Azanuma and Gacka to see if they have what it takes to stay with Lambert. Gacka trying to attack Azanuma side by side at the end of the straight. Now Gacka at the inside line and completed the pass. He's in P3. Patrick Gacka now in P3. Let's see if Azanuma try to answer it back to respond to that overtake. And then, of course, seems like Lambert had the piece to get back on the leaders, Olivier Chłopek, because now we are 5/10 away, 3/10 of a second faster. Oscar Lambert, there's a warning flag to Jade Wilson. And there's a 3-second penalty for dangerous driving to Emil Forker. So now Chłopek starting to feel the pressure of Lambert, Gacka, Azanuma, and even Ben Yangu with the battling in front of him is starting to getting closer to the top 3, top 4 drivers. Let's see now. Seems like Olivier Chłopek has to defend himself. The battling is still going on because, of course, Kotaro Zanuma has not got it yet. And Olivier Chłopek is not there to relinquish their leadership so easily. Try to transfer back over Lambert, but he has already Patrick Gacka on his back. It's 5 of them, Lambert, Chłopek, Gacka, Azanuma, and Yangu. 9 minutes remains in this race. Let's take a look at what happened behind them. It's 2.5 seconds advantage from the top group to the previous group. Let's see if someone pull an overtake there at the end of the straight. There's no one moving. As I was saying, it's Zaki leading the chasing group, we should call him, with William Valersum, Tomas Simard, Jakub Madriza, and Nate Kozenina. Jakub Badirazza that now has a warning flag. A warning flag was shown before to Kevin Stromek too. But we get back to the top 2 drivers, Lambert and Chłopek. A little bit of advantage for the 2 over Azanuma, Gacka, and Yangu. And this time, Chłopek is trying to battling and trying to make perfectly clear that it's not over yet. The fastest lap of the race, 1 minute, 9 seconds, .547 for the Polish driver. Maybe will be able to attack at the end of the straight. The slipstream is there. It's very, very close to Lambert. And not pull aside to try the overtake. He stays on the back of the British driver. It seems like he wants to wait to attack Oscar Lambert. Right behind them, Azanuma, Gacka, and Gu still continue fighting. It's 7 minutes to go right now in this first super hit of the day. And of course, in a few minutes, we will wait for the junior category on the pre-grid appointment for their super hit. Another lap is gone, 1 minute, 9 second, .6 for both Lambert and Chłopek. Then it's Gacka, Azanuma, Yangu, 1 minute and 9.9 for Gacka, 1 minute and 10.2 for Azanuma, Yangu. Now seems like Lambert and Chłopek are able to pull it off a little bit, especially because Gacka and Azanuma still continue to switching places to fighting for the top 3 position. To fight one, and seems like Lambert and Chłopek can capitalize on that. And now he's down to 0.7 of a second, a little bit faster this time. Gacka, and that's the first lap where Gatska, Azanuma, and Yangu are not fighting each other. That could be the point, the whole point of the question. There's a 2 warning flag in a row toward Jakov Madirazza. A penalty is not coming. Now he's a little bit in trouble on the pace. Ben Yangu seems like a little bit slower than their chasing teammates. A good fast sector in sector number 1 by Patrick Gatska. A good sector in sector number 2 too. And it's Gatska launching himself towards the top 3 position when it's 4 minutes 45 seconds remain in this race. There's a warning flag to Džiugas Pravilonis, the Lithuanian driver, now running in 11th. And what a huge group about it there, fighting from Pravilonis to, I'd say, Nikolov from P11 to P18. A never-ending fight. Meanwhile, back focus on the top is Lambert leading over Chłopek, Gatska, Azanuma, and Yangu. This time, Gatska, oh, watch out, guys! Watch out, guys! There's a crash in the back. Someone cut the grass, someone is spin over. I guess there were Jelacic, Bruno, then it's Emily Walls and Angeliki Nuzopoulou. That's of course, it's a pity they rejoined the race. But it was also pretty dangerous. As I was saying, the last lap, Gatska was the fastest on the track. And now Chłopek is leading. Gatska seems like he knows that he cannot wait more. Chłopek, Lambert, Gatska, Yangu, and Azanuma. That's the new order for the top 5 driver. With Chłopek leading now, with 3 minutes left on the clock. And they continue to do so. There's a little bit of space between them, and then they start battling, and the space is reduced back. They're back and forth they go. Let's see if someone decides to not wait anymore, or if someone decides to start to fight properly right now, not minding anything more. Chłopek, Lambert, Gatska, Yangu, Azanuma. They didn't change the order, but now Gatska tried the overtake over Lambert. And they're fighting in there. Chłopek, Lambert, and Gatska now. At the very beginning of the lap, and once again, Yangu and Azanuma get back on that 5 tenths that they got by. And now seems like Chłopek cannot be slip well. Now the attack by Azanuma over Yangu. Meanwhile, there's a warning flag to Jakub Madirazza, the 3rd warning flag of the race for the Croatian driver. Seems like we'll not see the end of this fight till the very end of this race. Now down on the inside on the chicane. Watch out, guys. There's, of course, a cut on the chicane. Let's see what the race direction says about it. With 1 minute left, there's a 3-second penalty. Meanwhile, for track limit exceeding on the chicane by Jakub Madirazza. Not quite surprisingly, it's Lambert, Chłopek, Gatska, Azanuma, Yangu. But let's see what happened This is the last lap of the race. It's 30 seconds remains. I don't think they can make it till the finish line in time to beat the checkered flag. Lambert leading, Gacka and Chłopek, then it's Zanuma Yango, Gacka and Chłopek fight now. The attempt over Lambert is defending himself, otherwise they go, a little bump from behind. Now there's the chicane, the checkered flag is there. It's a 5-pack of drivers, all in there for the chicane and the checkered flag with Oscar Lambert. Good. And Azanuma, and then it's Gacka. What a race end! What a race end for this Super 8 in a junior kid category. And that pretty much it. Oscar Lambert won it over Olivier Chłopek and Ben Yangu, over Kotaro Azanuma and Patrick Gacka, and they, oh wow, Azanuma and Gacka right on the finish line with 0.02 of a second split. That's quite amazing. And it's kind of amazing that 5 drivers passed by the finish line within 0.3 of a second. That's incredible, I'd say, to say the least, with Oscar Lambert emerging victorious at the very end, with a great defensive maneuver at the turn 11, turn 12, and then down the chicane. It was out of the problem, but Chłopek, Yangu, Azanuma, and Gacka had to. Okay, so we're ready with the junior kid final, with the first final of today. It's a 20-minute race for the junior kid. Olivier Chłopek starting from the pole, not surprisingly. Then it's Oscar Lambert in P2, Ben Yangu and Kotaro Zanuma in second row. Patrick Gacka and Alessio Zacchi in third row, William Van Lersum and Nigel Kozenina in fourth row. Then it's Jakov Madirazza and Thomas Imad, Emily Forker, Jakub Melas, Kevin Sromek, Vinko Jalacic, Jade Wilson, Zugas Pravilonis, Victor Nikolov, Emily Walls, Vladimir Bruno, and Angeliki Nozopoulou. That's the starting grid for the junior kid, second attempt of doing the formation lap. And this, guys, this is the final. few moments of tension still, and then we are ready to go with the junior kid final. The code is out. Let's see if we are ready. Watch out, race director. Okay, the driver split. And we are ready to go with the start by Chłopek Lambert trying to defend himself from the outside, saying it, but Yangu is passing by too. Lambert now trying to stay at least at P3 with Yangu in second, and Chłopek already say, come with me, let's face to each other at the very end of the race. Let's see if something went wrong on this plan by Oliwier Chłopek. It seems like pretentious by a man that always trying to seal off with it, but let's see what happened. Chłopek and Lambert, with Chłopek and Yangu with Lambert in P3 in this beginning. End of lap 1, and of course they are all there. Chłopek, Azanuma, Lambert, Yangu, Zaki, Simard, Van Lersum, Madriaza, Mela, and Jelacic. Let's see if Azanuma, Lambert, and Yangu will listen to Chłopek. It's Zaki. Zaki is there too. Let's see if they can try to make a little bit of selection on the drivers that will work, will fight for the victory. Let's see also the piece after the first lap, if it's affordable for the most of the drivers, and seems like Azanuma has no intention to wait, attack and taking the lead. Now is not the only driver who's defending. Lambert and Yangu side by side. There's no space for everybody at the S. Lambert tried to resist on Zaki too, but Zaki passed by. So it's Azanuma, Chłopek, Yangu, Zaki and Lambert. This is far from over. We're just getting started. Now Azanuma leading with Chłopek staying right on the back of the Japanese, and with Yangu right behind him. And of course that battle get a little bit closer. All the other drivers, starting with Simard, with Madriza, with Van Lersum, Melaska, Zenena, Nikolov, Forker, Pravilonis. It's a huge group, but they are still fighting there. They have to pay attention in this moment. The top 5 drivers still fighting for the top. Azanuma is still first, Chłopek in second, Yangu stays in third, Zaki in fourth, Lambert in fifth. Everything's the same. It's 16 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this race. It seemed like Azanuma cannot stay on top for too much, or seems like Chłopek cannot stay away from top for too much. That's the point, probably. And now once again the attack, it's Yangu trying the overtake over Azanuma, but Azanuma stays with the back of Chłopek. It's up to 6, the top group. with Chłopek now leading back. Azanuma, Yangu is there. He tried but stays in third. And now Lambert is up in fourth with Zaki and Simard in the fifth and sixth. Side by side outside the start line. And there's a fight inside the fight. It's all of a fight at the top. With Yangu down one position to third after that fight. And now is Lambert in P3, right behind Azanuma, right behind Chłopek. Nobody takes a move at the end of the stride. But now there's someone moving. It's Zaki trying to attack Ben Yangu. You cannot rest yourself a second. They're attacking everywhere. "14 minutes, 15 seconds remains. It's Chłopek, Azanuma, Lambert, Zaki, Yangu, and Simard. Now Yangu trying to climb it back. Oh, watch out, he goes a little bit wide in the fight. Lambert and Zaki fighting for P3. And down on the straight, the attack by Azanuma over Chłopek. And Azanuma take the lead. And now Chłopek has to fight for the second position, losing it to... Oh, that's a whole fight now. There is Yangu fighting, trying to get back on P4. And of course, with all this fighting now, is a huge group of 10, 12 cars. Oh, wow, watch out for that. That's what it meant to fight all over the time. It's Azanuma leading the race. It's Zaki into Yangu in third, Simard, Kozenina, Azanuma, Van Lersum, Nikolov, Madricia and Chłopek passing by in P10. That's incredible. And now the leader of the race is once again Oscar Lambert. Now Lambert has a little bit of space, and now Chłopek has to recover on it, and that's a huge group of 12 people out there. It's hard to keep track of every attack like this one by Azanuma over Konenina. Azanuma, as far as concerned Chłopek, want to get back on that. A great move by Azanuma for the P5 and getting back on it. Now there's Lambert, then is the trio of Zaki, Yangu, and Simard. He was patient, Simard stays quiet there. He stays always near to the other, and now he's capitalizing on that, but it's too soon to speak. It's 12 minutes to go. It seems like they can't get enough. It's Lambert, Zaki, Yangu, and Simard at the top four. Then it's Kozenina, Azanuma, Van Lersum, and Chłopek. But by the time that I read out their name, everything can change in a blink of an eye. There's a warning flag to Oscar Lambert that now is leading the race. There is Zaki in P2, Yangu in P3, Simard in P4. Then Kozenina up in 5th with the overtake over Azanuma. And then it's Van Lersum, Chłopek, and Nikolov. Seems like Chłopek is not able now to get back from that move that cost him like 10 position in a move. Down to the straight, they are in 3. The attack over Lambert is not over, it's never over in this junior kid. And now Lambert is something to do with Yangu, and Simar too is there. The warning flag towards Victor Nikolov, but now they change everything on the top, and once again the group is reunited. And that's the same thing happened before, that's the same spot of before. We end another lap and everything has changed once again. Oscar Lambert was able to get back on top, and now is Ben Yangu in P2, Zaki in P3, Kozenina in P4 with Simard, Van Lersum, Chłopek, and Nikolov with Azanuma wiped down to the 9th position. And now the British duo, Lambert and Yangu, let's see if we can coexist for a while to get away with it. There's a warning flag. We already saw them, the 1 to Victor Nikolov. Lambert, Yangu, Zaki, and Kozenina. Now there's a new member on the company. It's the Slovenian next, Kozenina. Alongside with Zaki, Yangu, and Lambert. So far, they are the 3 most constant driver. 8 minutes and a half remains in this race. There's a warning flag to Alessio Zaki. The Italian driver has to pay attention to now. Try from the outside, then on the inside. The move by Yangu taking the lead. It's Ben Yangu leading, and it's Kozenina side by side with Zaki, and side by side with Lambert too. They're down in 3. Lambert defending himself, and then it's Zaki in 3, Kozenina down in 4, and Lambert says, "Follow me, not fight, follow me." Seems like everybody wants to be followed, but seems like no one likes to follow. Of course, you can follow us on social media, SWS, that's the easy part. Let's back on the race. 7 minutes and 25 seconds remains on the clock of this race. It's far from over. Another lap passing by with Yangu, the new leader, with Lambert in P2, Zaki in P3, Kozenina in P4, then it's Chłopek back in P5 with Simard, Nikolov, Van Lersum, and Azanuma. With Azanuma and Van Lersum a little bit separated from the huge group, and now Lambert is trying to make it clear that it's not going anywhere apart from the top. Where I have to start every time, every turn, every corner, they try to overtake. There's an overtake in the middle. Simard and Chłopek, they're fighting with Kozenina too. 6 minutes remains on the clock. Once again, it's Oscar Lambert leading with Yangu in P2, Kozenina in P3, and Chłopek in P4. Now is Zaki down in 5th with Nikolov overtaking Thomas Simard. Lambert, Yangu, Kozenina, they try to put some borders on their fight, to put a little bit of space between them and the chasing group. And Dayard Chłopek stays in it before he can try to lead the chasing group. It's the first quiet lap as far as I can remember in this race. 5 minutes remains, a little bit less in this race. Lambert, Yangu, Kozenina leading with over a second advantage over Chłopek, Zaki, Nikolov, and Simard. And then it's Van Lersum and Azanuma too. Three-man's group now formed by the top drivers. Now the attack by Azanuma over Van Lersum for P8. Seems like the three chaser Chłopek, Zaki, and Nikolov understand what Lambert, Yangu, and Kozenina are doing and trying to do the same, trying to stay on for the peace and not fighting each other. Three minutes and 20 seconds remain in this race. The three on the top, Lambert, Yangu, and Kozenina, trying to run away from the three chaser, but Zaki attacking Chłopek for P4. They're fighting with Nikolov there too. And then seems like it'd be the best case scenario for Lambert, Yangu, and Kozenina towards the end of the race. Lambert, Yangu, Kozenina. This is the top three. Then it's Chłopek, Zaki, and Nikolov. After overtake and counter, they are still in the same order as before. Just noticing meanwhile that Zanuma overtook even Van Lersum and he is now in P7. And now 2 minutes in remains in this race. So this is the penultimate lap of this race. Let's see who is gonna move first between Yangu and Kozenina to try to attack the man in front. Of course, we don't think that it's gonna be Oscar Lambert. For clear reason. Or maybe I spoke early. Maybe we are gonna race another 2 laps from now on. That is possible, considering the fact that we are running in 1 minute 10 seconds, .4, and that the fact that Lambert, Yangu, and Kozenina passed through the finish line with 1 minute and 20 seconds remains. So let's take a look at the clock, and who knows if they look at the clock too, and they know that maybe it could be still be another lap time. That's for sure. There went last lap signs out there, but who knows. almost eye contact in this between Yangu and Kozenina. Yangu turning his head, watching Kozenina. It's last lap now with 5 seconds left on the clock. And Lambert knows that they are there, knows that he has to defend himself till the very last meter of the RKC. There's a wide, huge group battling behind them, but let's stay on the top. Let's stay on the top with their winning lap. It is now, it's Lambert defending. The victory is there, up for grabs for the three of us, but only one driver can take it. This must be the podium, yes, but in which order? Now the attack over Lambert on the inside. On the inside, it kind of works. Yes, it is working side by side, the three of them in a great final. Maybe there was one driver that cut off the chicane. I don't know, but I think that's Kozenina got it. And those fireworks kind of work. And we can only understand the disappointment in Oscar Lambert. We see him from here. It was an awesome race to start this final program with the junior kid